Breaking news from Raider Nation. The Las Vegas Raiders have just made a surprising move, and fans need to pay attention. They've signed a massive new defensive lineman, and when we say massive, we mean it. This guy is 6 foot 6 inches tall and weighs 347 pounds. His name? Lachlan "Lockie" Tosi, a powerful athlete from Australia with roots in Samoa. He didn't come from college football. In fact, just recently he was playing rugby in Queensland, Samoa. But now, thanks to the NFL International Pathway Program, he's a Raider. Before we go further, before listening to the latest news, subscribe to the channel, like it, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Let's move on to the new news. Now, back to Tosi. The Raiders didn't get the international roster exemption for him, but they still signed him. That tells us one thing. They see something special. Raiders scouts must have watched his rugby tape and said, "This guy moves like no one else his size." At 6 feet 6 inches and 347 pounds, he runs with power and speed, not something you see every day. There's no doubt he's still raw, but the potential is real. He reminds some people of players like Jordan Mailata, another rugby player who became one of the NFL's best offensive linemen. The Raiders may be hoping Tosi can follow a similar path, starting small, learning fast, and becoming a real force in the NFL. Now, let's talk more about this new signing, and why it's so exciting for Raider Nation. Yes, Lockie Tosi is still learning the game, but his size and athletic ability are hard to ignore. Imagine this, a 6 feet 6 inches, 347-pound defensive lineman with serious speed and explosive power. Even though we don't know his exact 40-yard dash time, it's safe to say he's fast for his size, possibly in the top 5% of all defensive linemen. That's not normal. He may not come in and dominate right away, but that's okay. Players like him take time to grow, and if the Raiders are smart with his development, he could turn into a real force. Now, here's where it gets even more exciting. While everyone was talking about Tosi, something else quietly happened that fired up fans. Colton Miller showed up to Raiders workouts. Just days ago, reports said Miller might sit out unless he got a new contract. That story came straight from his camp, making it sound like he wouldn't show up at all. But guess what? He was there, working, practicing, leading. That sends a clear message. Colton Miller is all in. He's not sitting on the sidelines. He's ready to grind, ready to learn the new system, and ready to fight for wins this season. A couple of photos from practice started spreading on social media, especially one that went viral. It showed Miller locked in and focused, and that kind of energy gives fans real hope. This offseason might be different. Between Tosi's potential and Miller's commitment, something good might be brewing in Las Vegas. It's great to see Colton Miller back on the field, because let's be honest, he's a key part of what the Raiders want to build this season. When you talk about protecting the quarterback, having a strong left tackle is non-negotiable. That's your blindside protector, the anchor of the offensive line. And Colton Miller has been that rock for Las Vegas. With Geno Smith expected to lead the offense, the line in front of him needs to be sharp, strong, and reliable. The Raiders clearly understand that, which is why they invested in offensive linemen during the draft. The goal is simple. Build a wall around the quarterback and let the offense shine. While the left side with Miller looks solid, the right tackle spot is still being figured out. Names like DJ Glaze and Charles Grant are in the mix, but both are rookies with a lot to prove. Between the two, some believe Grant has more upside. He's bigger, stronger, and showed flashes of greatness in college. But that doesn't mean he's ready to dominate right away. Like most rookies, he'll need time, coaching, and real reps to improve. Luckily, the Raiders' coaching staff seems ready for that challenge. Offensive line coach Brennan Carroll, yes, the son of Pete Carroll, is the one responsible for turning raw talent into real power on the field. If he can shape these young linemen the way great coaches have in the past, the Raiders' offensive line could become one of the most improved units in the league. As for Colton Miller's contract, there's been talk, but nothing official yet. Some reports hinted that he may have already signed a new deal, but no confirmation has come out. Still, the fact that he's training hard with the team shows where his heart is. He's committed, focused, and wants to win. And when your top lineman leads by example, the rest of the team takes notice. Let's talk about one of the most surprising moves by the Raiders, signing wide receiver Colin Johnson. At first glance, this signing didn't seem to make much sense. The Raiders already have a loaded wide receiver room. Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker are staying put. Then there's Jack Beck and Dante Thornton Jr., two rookies just added through the draft. And don't forget about Tyreek McClendon, who showed serious flashes last year. So why bring in Colin Johnson? The answer might be more strategic than it looks. Johnson is a rare breed, a 6 feet 6 inches wideout who brings size and a unique physical presence. His signing might not be about starting games right now. It could be about mentoring and helping develop younger talent, especially someone like Dante Thornton Jr., who shares a similar body type and style. Thornton is fast, athletic, and explosive, but still very raw. He's not expected to dominate right away, and that's okay. The Raiders are clearly thinking long-term here. By pairing Thornton with someone who's been in the league and understands the physical challenges of being a tall receiver, the coaching staff could accelerate his development. Think about it. Players like Thornton don't just walk in and become superstars overnight. It takes reps, mentoring, and the right environment. Colin Johnson could quietly be a big piece of that puzzle. Even though Johnson's past numbers don't scream star, just 31 catches over 4 years, his value might come more from what he offers behind the scenes. Sometimes, a signing isn't about the stats. It's about the structure, the support, and the vision. The Raiders aren't just trying to win this year, they're building a future, and every move seems to be part of a bigger plan. The Raiders just made another smart move, but this time, it wasn't on the field. It was deep inside the front office where real championship foundations are built. With Champ Kelly gone, the Raiders didn't waste time. They've brought in Brian Stark as the new assistant general manager, and that's a name Raiders fans should start getting familiar with. Stark isn't just some random hire. He spent 13 seasons with the Denver Broncos, including a long stretch as their director of college scouting from 2016 to 2024. This man knows how to evaluate talent, build draft boards, and find hidden gems. That kind of experience is exactly what the Raiders need as they continue to reshape their identity. This move tells us something important about GM Tom Telesco's vision. He's not just thinking about the next game. He's thinking about the next decade. And bringing in a front office veteran like Stark signals that the Raiders are trying to build a powerhouse behind the scenes, not just on Sundays. And here's where it gets even more interesting. Many believe John Spyc, the new Raiders general manager, is following a similar structure to what worked in Tampa Bay, where he was known as the mastermind behind their draft strategy. Even though he wasn't officially the director of scouting with the Buccaneers, Spyc was the one building the draft board, guiding the scouts, and helping steer the team's biggest decisions. Now, in Vegas, he's bringing that same blueprint. With Stark handling college scouting responsibilities and Spyc pulling the strings, the Raiders are creating a front office super team, a combination of experience, vision, and proven results. Moves like these don't make headlines like a blockbuster trade, but they're the kind of decisions that shape champions. The Raiders are not just building a roster, they're building a football empire, and the latest moves in the front office prove it. After naming Brian Stark as assistant GM, the Raiders doubled down on scouting power by bringing in Jonathan Stigall as the assistant director of college scouting. This isn't just another name. Stigall has spent 27 years in the NFL, with the last 11 seasons scouting talent for the New York Jets. He's earned a reputation around the league as one of the hardest-working and most respected scouts in football. Why does that matter to Raiders fans? Because guys like Stigall don't just help you find first-round stars. They help you uncover mid- and late-round steals. They know how to spot the next breakout player hiding at a small school or buried on a depth chart. And when you're trying to rebuild and reload at the same time, that kind of expertise is priceless. What's even more exciting is how John Spyc is structuring the Raiders' front office. It's clear he's building a system that values deep scouting, player development, and smart risk-taking. Spyc's first draft already showed flashes of brilliance, selecting players with high upside and backing it up with the film to prove it. We're watching a shift in philosophy. No more gambling on questionable picks or hoping for luck. The Raiders are finally trusting the tape, trusting the scouts, and building a foundation that lasts. And let's be real, players like Jack Beck, Charles Grant, and Dante Thornton Jr. might not dominate on day one, but they have sky-high potential. With the right development, something this new front office is clearly prioritizing, these guys could turn into long-term cornerstones. In short, this isn't just about what happens on Sundays anymore. This is about building a future, piece by piece, scout by scout, pick by pick. And for the first time in a long time, the Raiders seem to have the right people in the building to do exactly that.